everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest today is Debby Canarini, and she is a business transformational coach and motivational speaker. She works with entrepreneurs that desire to make more money while having flexibility and freedom to live their perfect lifestyle. Welcome to the show, Debby.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
It really is. It took a while. I mean, we had some technical issues and some stuff going on, and I can't read.
Yes, but nobody learned how to, walk in one day. So it takes some steps to get there.
Yeah, it's true. They say Rome wasn't built in a day, but I'm not building Rome. I'm just trying to read a paragraph. So I was hoping it would go better than that.
Well, I have learning disabilities, so there are a lot of times I've read a paragraph 2, 3, 4 times.
Just to get it. Yeah, I've done that.
To understand that. Mm-hmm.
So my first question to you, Debby, is what lit the fire for you to want to become an entrepreneur?
People. The desire to help people, because when I started out a long time ago, I was in direct sales, and I really realized what was holding people back was not the product or the service they were selling in anything. It was their mindset. And I felt that if people learned how to get over, that crap that goes through your brain that tells you you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or, this isn't for you, and really learned new skills and new techniques, they could move on and they could have the lifestyle that they desire. Because I really believe that we're supposed to live a fun, happy life. But the process of life tends to degenius us and tends to make it so damn complicated that we lose our passion. And I really feel that if you're good at something, you can become better at it. You can become an expert at it. It takes the mindset. Unfortunately, we really have to work on our mindset, because that's 90% of your action or lack of action.
I say on this show all the time that I believe that everything external in your business is a reflection of something internal that's going on with you. So if you're succeeding, then things inside are going well. And if you're not doing so well, things inside are kind of messed up too.
That is 100% truth. That is so true. And unfortunately, some people settle, and, they feel that I guess it's just not for me. And that's a horrible thing to do, because if you have passion, if we had like more time, and all the hurdles that I've jumped over to get out of my comfort zone and to get my mindset right, and, study psychology, study personal growth, energy medicine, business, all of those things. But those things took a lot of time to learn. And then it's not like school. It's not informational learning. You have to really put then all those practices into your life so that you can transform and you can have exactly what you desire, like that fantasy, that dream up there. You can have that, but it takes work.
It does take work. And you talked a little bit about the struggles and the things that you've been through. What kind of struggles and obstacles did you come across on your entrepreneurial journey? And what did you do about those problems or challenges that you had to face?
Well, the biggest thing is I'm dyslexic, and I am high performance autistic. And so not only did I have problems reading, I had problems with comprehension. I had, I reversed numbers. That makes life really easy. Oh, hell no. And there's just sometimes those kind of disabilities, and especially like when I went to school, they didn't test for any of that. And so I didn't find out till like I was in my 30s. And by then I was believing people that said, she's not that smart. She can't learn. And that really damages your self-esteem. And that really holds you back. because when the age between 0 and 10 is a high learning performance period. And so if you're constantly told you can't do this, or, oh my God, she's so slow, she can't get it, that is really going to affect how you handle and how you show up in your adult life. And so really doing the work on myself and learning what I was good at. I'm good in psychology. I'm good at figuring out why people are struggling or where their struggle comes from. I'm really good at helping to get them through traumas that have happened in their life. And so, because I did all the work on myself first, and I got over my traumas, and I got over the learning disabilities, and I learned a wonderful mentor. My cousin came into my life. She came back to America, and she told me, you can live the rest of your life like this, that, I got these disabilities and I'm struggling, or you can figure out what you're really good at, become better at it, become an expert at it, and just move on.
You can.
And so that's what I did. The things that I'm not good at, I have people type for me. I have people proofread stuff and, help me with programs and stuff, because it's frustrating as hell and you're just wasting a lot of precious time. And I really feel that if you just focus on your passion, and I love helping people. And how do I love helping people? Just clearing up that mindset so that they can rock and roll in their life and have a fabulous life, because I did it. And now I have a fabulous life. And if I could start at the bottom of the class and, with no hope, and I come this far, trust me, people, get up off your butts. You can do it.
Absolutely. And the message there is so clear. You don't have to be number one in your class. I mean, look at this. I mean, the disabilities and the things that have held her back, people, there's no excuse, there's no excuse. And I think that once you can figure out how to hire out the things that you don't know so well, you'll go much farther in your business. And I know Debbie has a huge heart for people. She's talked to me several times and helped me out, and she has a big heart for people. I think that I'm very fortunate to have that on this show, and I've kind of figured out why now, is because a lot of the people that I have on the show have had struggles, and they've had tribulations and stuff happen to them that makes them more human and have a bigger heart for other people because they've been through stuff. And I think that's the one thing that I just took away from what you just said, Debbie. I was blown away by that. I had no idea. I really didn't. And talking to you, you don't sound like that at all.
It took a long time, and I feel that, especially if you're going to take money from somebody and you're going to tell them, I can help you, then you better be able to deliver. And so in order to deliver, you need the background. You need some psychology. And let's see, at least in my field you do.
Yes.
And some personal growth. And the energy of things too, that, what are you feeling? What is going on? Where's you got a headache. Okay. So why do you have the headache? And what are you feeling in that headache? Because those are signs that are telling us something. No one is, let's say, Tylenol deficient, okay? That headache is telling you something. And if it's in the back of your head, it's telling you that that's your past that has come up. And usually in the most inopportune time, your past comes to slap you and remind you that you have to deal with this, because those feelings that are in you, they never die. You can bury them, sweep them under the carpet, but they'll always come back until you deal with them.
Yeah, they will. They honestly will. Until you deal with what's in the inside, you'll never get to another level in your business and in your personal life. Just kind of how the way that works.
It does work that way. And the struggle is real because, like when you start a business, you're enthusiastic and you're excited and life seems so amazing and I'm going to do this and I'm going to have that. But then reality slaps you in the face and, you feel that you can't do this or you're not comfortable getting out of your comfort zone. And there's real reasons for that. Like the subconscious has been keeping a record since the day you were born. So every time you tried something new and maybe didn't succeed or got scared or, it keeps that record. And so then when you try to do something out of your comfort zone, you get held back.
That's true. That is so
And
true.
that's a hard thing because like when I've been coaching, I've had the privilege of coaching for 20 years and I was all in the beginning. Okay. I mean, I'm still all in now, but I mean, as far as like learning things and setting it up and how I'm going to work with clients and who's my ideal client and what I desire to teach and how I desire to get them over. But everywhere I turned, there was another obstacle. And so I realized through mentors, and then I've had some phenomenal coaches. I believe in coaches, and I still have a coach that helps you to see what you cannot see so you can get up over it and realize that you can do it.
Yeah, you can get over stuff a whole lot quicker if you have a coach or a mentor or someone like that has already been there. I liken it to Indiana Jones or something who has a little guide that takes him around, and shows him where he's supposed to go so he can find the treasure. And if you're looking for the treasure, you need a guide to help get you there quicker.
You do.
You'll just be lost in the jungle.
Yes, because getting lost in the jungle is no fun. And that's where a lot of heartache and pain comes. And you have to be very careful in that because when you're being stubborn and you won't ask for help or being stubborn and think that you know it all, but you're not getting where you desire to go, you're just layering trauma over trauma over trauma. And you're actually holding yourself more back. And so you just have to tell people, hey, I really would like to do this. I don't know how, or this part, I'm, keep running into this problem. How can, I get over this? We work better, and science has proven this, that we are all connected. And when we help others, we help ourselves. And we all rise when we extend help to somebody or when we ask for help. And so it's really an important step in building a business. You cannot do it all. You will never have the level of success that you desire, the income that you desire, because you're wasting precious time and energy trying to figure out everything.
That's absolutely the truth. And let's dive a little bit deeper into what you do now. You serve people that want to be in business for themselves, and you want to help them to get to the next level. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you do that?
Well, I ask a lot of questions that I honestly expect answers to. And I feel in the energy of what you're saying, is it congruent to what you're telling me? Or are you holding something back? And then I ask really deep questions that make you think to see how much you desire this and where do you honestly desire to go. Because most people are on the other side of this, at least when they come to me. I notice that they'll tell me everything that they do not desire. Yeah, I really don't care what you don't desire. I only care what you do desire, because if you hire me, it's my job to get you there. So if you really focus on what you desire, like in my life, my goal, I live in northern Indiana. It's like really cold and snowy right now. I'm right now in Tempe, Arizona. And I get away from the cold and snow and travel for 3 months. And that was really important to me. So I needed to have the business that was flexible, that I could work from anywhere. And I needed obviously to have the income to be able to do that. And I didn't want to be bogged down hours upon hours, because I work with sometimes really heavy traumas that come out in session. And so then I need time to like process it and get over it myself and get that energy off of me. And so it's important that you got to know what kind of business that you desire, what you desire out of that business. Is it flexibility? Is it freedom? Is it just money? A lot of people just focus on the money. I want a bigger house, a bigger car, and that type lifestyle. I'm not downing any of that, but you really, really got to get that focus of what you desire, because until you get that, really nobody can help you.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So tell me what you think is the number one thing that kind of comes up in session that is holding people back. What's one of the most limiting things that people have going on inside of them?
Well, it starts with a lot of things. The things like I hear is, I'm afraid of success or I'm afraid of failure. Well, the reality is you're neither. You have a fear. That is the only truth in that statement. You have a fear. So now we have to figure out where that fear is coming from. And we'll go back a little bit. And if I can't get any good conversation with them and steering them, because I like to steer people and let them have that aha moment that they discovered themselves in this situation. But if they're not getting there, the fear comes from not feeling you're enough, feeling you don't deserve, and or what they call in psychology, but I don't use psychology terms, but I'm going to use this one, imposter syndrome, where you have all the training and all the skills that you need, but you just feel like, I need one more piece of paper, or I need one more degree, and then I'll be able to go. You just don't feel you have it. And that is really huge, because that plays on all four, of levels of confidence. How you can handle praise, how you can give someone validation, or how you can take validation, how you handle criticism, how you handle rejection. And so if you picture yourself like a house needs to be built on a solid foundation. Otherwise it crumbles. It falls down. And so if we do not feel worthy, or do not feel we deserve, or we're not enough, that is where your fears are coming from. It's not a fear of success or failure. It's not, a fear of stepping out into public or doing a podcast or an interview or whatever. It's really coming from those three things. And so I work to open their minds, to find out where the circumstances came from that they were feeling this, or who gave them this ugly message that they weren't enough, and to how to make peace with it, how to move on, how to rewrite the story. And simultaneously, we're building a really strong business, because this is going to affect how you show up in business, how you handle yourself in business. And what is going to be a huge stopper for you is sales, because sales, you're selling yourself. And so when we have, I'm not enough, I don't deserve, and I'm not worthy, all this, it's going to come up in your sales, because you're going to start off that presentation maybe strong, because you committed, someone told you this is what you need to say, so you committed that to memory. But when someone asks you a question, you're going to come back and your voice is going to drop, and you're going to play small, and then you're going to get frustrated and aggravated with yourself, and you're not going to close the deal, and you're going to be doing presentation after presentation, or keep trying to sell your services after and after and after, and you're just not going to get anywhere.
So how do we deal with that? How do we get from feeling we're not good enough to feeling we are good enough, and to be able to sell. I think some people also have a thing where they feel like sales is kind of slimy and all that too. So I don't know if you want to address that or not.
I'll address the slimy first because that comes up a lot, damn it. And that is not right. Here's what I tell everyone when I'm working with someone. Okay, you're not comfortable with sales and they say, you know, it's slimy or it's nonsense or, you know, people just lie. No, we don't lie. We're going to give the facts of the products or services that you sell, and we're going to show great value. And how you show great value is, how is this going to make this other person, their life better, run smoother, faster, or make more money? And when you're doing a presentation, you know, or just at a networking group and telling what you do, you need to cover those things because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for usually more time, more flexibility, more freedom, and to make more money. And so if you can show how your product can help with one or two of those, most likely they're going to hire you. If it's a product, they want to buy it. If it's a service, sign me up. So it's really about showing the value and really making sure the value is tuned into them. So I would recommend that you have that person speak first, so you can find out about them or do some pre-research on them to find out who they are, what they do, how they do it, and, you know, whatever you can find. So then when you have a conversation with them, you can tweak your presentation or the words that you use to show the value of what you do so that they can understand that, wow, this person can really help me, or this service can really help me.
So there's a question that comes off of that. I'll get back to the other one in a bit. But
Sure.
Pricing. Have you seen people that underprice themselves because they don't value themselves enough?
Yes. Yes. And, you know, the way I teach it is a couple things. One, look at what others are getting paid in your industry. Or if you're selling product, then what is comparable product in your industry? Let's say you're making, you know, organic skincare. Okay, take that particular product and see what other lines are selling it for. But another thing is, how many hours does it take you to make that skincare? You know, if this is our working model, so then we have to put all that in and figure it out, because you deserve to be paid for your time and you deserve to be paid for your knowledge. And if you took the time to make the product to make someone look younger, healthier, happier, then you deserve to get paid for all of that. So it's a lot to put in. And, you know, I can totally transparent here. This happened to me a couple years ago. I had 3 clients that went through my program, and they just thought that I was phenomenal. They wrote great reviews for me. They just loved everything I did for their business. But at the end, when we get done, I always ask, would you, you know, write a review if you feel that I accomplished what you wanted? You know, because I don't like fake reviews. I want legitimate reviews. And then I said, is there anything that you would say, you know, for your next client, you should do this different? Well, this was a real eye-opener and a big aha moment for me, because 3 of the clients told me, you don't charge enough for your services because you made me X amount of dollars, and I really feel you're giving it away.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really, really huge. And it's like when the first one said it, you know, I was like, you know, they're just flattered because, you know, like flattering me, and they're really happy where they got. Well, the second one, it like hit me. And then the second one to the third one was only like 2 days apart.
Wow.
And I was like, really? And then I realized how long I had been charging this price. And times have changed, and, society has gotten better as far as, income and levels change. And I was like, oh my God, I'm helping other people set prices. And it never even occurred to me. So we all have those moments, but yes, if you're selling your services, you should make the money that reflects how much effort and time you put into this. Like even now, I still do research for the companies that I work for, the businesses, because that's, I feel, why they hired me, to know things and to get where they want to go. So I deserve to be paid for that, and I deserve to make a good income that I feel proud of, that, like, I'm not, oh, they're taking advantage of me, or this or that.
Right.
Or, God, I'm working so hard. Because in my practice too, especially when I'm teaching like new concepts or new ideas, I allow clients to text me in between sessions and tell me, this isn't working, or this sucks, this was a stupid idea, Debbie. Why did you teach me this? I can't get it, whatever. So then they can, and then when I get free, I will contact them and we will jump on the phone, and there's no extra money for that. And a lot of people, other coaches have, and Debbie, that's just crazy, that's stupid. But I've always been independent, and this is a reflection of who I am. And I feel that if you hire a coach, they should get you to the next level, and you shouldn't spend weeks, crying in your closet or, pissed off at the world. You should be able to move on with ease and grace.
I agree with that. And it just shows you have a heart for people too. It shows how much you put into what you do,
Yeah, I do, I came the real hard way. It was a constant ass struggle. And to be where I am now, I travel like 4 months a year. I mean, this is amazing to me.
Wow.
I live in a house that I'm proud of, that, my husband and I designed literally on draft paper. We drew it all out, how big we wanted this room and that room, and what was important to me, what was important to him. And, where I started, and, barely passing school. I really feel I got out of school because I'm really good in art and creative. And when you start giving teachers artwork, they kind of start looking the other way. Okay. And so,
yes, they do.
Yeah, they do, And so to go from that and being taken out for reading and writing and anything else, math, that they could toss me out to the back of the room or to the back of the class, like, it just blows my mind that I am where I am today. And so anybody out here, you're listening to this, believe, put the right circle of influence around you, get the right help, and you can have that dream life, whatever it is.
That's right. Now, we didn't answer that one question, so I'm going to go back to it. It's
okay.
How do you get people from not believing in themselves to being able to believe in themselves and charge with their work?
Well, we have to build a self-esteem, and it's not let's say a beautiful process. There's usually some heartache and pain that comes out in that, because we have to figure out where in your childhood, and I'm not blaming any parents, so if you're a parent, don't hate me. I'm a parent myself. But sometimes we don't address our children's needs because either we don't know how or we don't have the time. So these kids don't know how to process, okay, because they're children. They got, they're just like learning things. And so things get stuck in them like traumas, and like people think, oh, it has to be like a big trauma, like you survived a plane crash or something like that. It doesn't. It's those small things, but they keep adding up. And then you try to do something and you get held back. So the thing is that you got to figure out or have someone help you to find out exactly what are the identifying issues. that makes you afraid to just go out and say, you know, I don't know, I'm going to charge $1,000 for this program or whatever you're doing. And I wish there was like a really quick, easy way to say this, but there's not, because there's a lot of levels that we got to deal with: the emotional mind, the mental mind, the reasoning, and then teaching the self-esteem, the confidence that you are deserving, you know, and how to handle rejection and criticism. Because usually people have issues with pricing is because they're afraid that somebody is, that maybe like a parent, a family member, a relative, a good friend is going to find out how much they're charging, let's say now for a service. And they're going to be like, oh my God, who do you think you are? Well, I'm, you know, and like I give people answers on how to answer that. Okay. Who do you think you are? I am someone that did the work and the time and invested in a lot of skills and a lot of work to get where I am. And I deserve to make that kind of money.
That's great. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah. So, you know, it's not throwing fire on fire, because that doesn't work. Okay, we don't need an argument, but we need to be able to stand up for ourselves. And that's usually what happens, is they're thinking that someone's going to say. And what blows my mind even to this day, and 20 years in on this, is nobody ever thinks that someone's going to say, really? That's all? God, it's really cheap for what you do.
Yeah,
That's
one that blows you away, right?
Exactly. Nobody ever says that. They all go that, oh, this is too high. Or I met this girl that's why I use the organic skincare. She's making it from scratch, buying all these ingredients, doing all this research, took all these classes. And she goes, well, you know, they'll think it's, you know, I'm making like too much money and I'm going to get rich. And my answer to that always is too, and like, listen to this line, that's why you became an entrepreneur. Because if you only wanted to make like a, you know, a medium income, then you can go work for somebody else and you'll get a, you know, paid week or two of vacation. You'll get probably some kind of health insurance or some kind of benefits. You became an entrepreneur, at least in my opinion, to live an extraordinary life, to be able to raise up your community, your surroundings, to share your gifts and talents so that they raise up. And yeah, because you helped them, yes, you get to travel, or you get to buy a new car, or you get to buy a new house. How is that any different than when you're working for an employer and you get in a paycheck and then you buy the new house, or you get to travel, or you buy the new car? There's no difference. The only difference is the way you are perceiving it in your mind.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is, because there's so much that goes on up in our heads. There really is. And there's so much garbage up there that we've been fed, like, you know, hey, you know, you're not that good at this or that or whatever. And we do fail. So it gives us experience that, oh, wait, you know what? That's right. I'm not very good at this. See, I failed and failed and failed. So we use that negative reinforcement a lot, actually.
We do. And we become like a crutch to it. You know, I always tell people, like, especially when we first start working together, we're going to be working on getting out of your comfort zone, you know, and some are like kind of in it, and then others are like, you know, they want no part of this. But life really does start outside your comfort zone. So even if you just did one thing, like maybe you've never gone to a restaurant by yourself and sat and had lunch or breakfast, go do it. Because that just builds your self-esteem and your confidence that, look what I can do. And then think about all the things in life that you've accomplished. You learn to crawl, you learn to walk, you learn to run, you learn to ride a bike, you learn to dance, you learn to read, to write, math. whatever. You learned all these skills. So damn it, focus on what you learned and not the person next to you. Because guess what? They're on another journey. That's got nothing to do with you.
That's absolutely true. How can people get a hold of you if they would like to work with you? If they're facing something that is just difficult for them and they just can't break through and been having a lot of them internal struggles and not feeling like they're worth it and things like that, how do they get a hold of you to get rid of that stuff?
That is really easy because I'm branded in my name. So Debby Canarini. You will find me on Facebook. I have a profile page and a business page. And I have a website, debbycanarini.com. And I'm in Instagram, Debby Canarini. It's really easy. And, you know, I want to make this perfectly clear that if you reach out, we're just having a chat. We're not going into the coaching thing and you need a coach and you need this and this and this. Let's just have an honest, open conversation and let's see where you desire to go. And let's see if I'm a good fit to help you on this journey.
That's really good, because a lot of coaches will be like, yeah, of course, get a hold of me and, you know, we'll start to work right now and stuff. And I like the fact that you qualify people because it shows you have a lot of experience.
I do. And I honestly want to help. And it's not a game with me. This is serious. Right. This is your life.
Yeah. Totally agree. So at the end, we're going to wrap it up here in a little bit. But I would like you to speak, because you do it all the time. I really believe you just speak from your heart all the time.
Yes, I do.
But I'd like you to speak from your heart to the people out there about whatever's on your heart at this point.
Well, my heart is full of gratitude and love. I really appreciate having the opportunity to be on this podcast. This is a real treat. It's also a real treat for me to be in Arizona where it's really warm and hang out. But most of all, it's about you. I really, really need you to believe that you desire more, that you can have more, and that you can be more. And you just need to make some tweaks. And those tweaks are going to pay off tenfold. You know, every penny that I invest in myself with schooling or, you know, private classes or tutors or mentors, it paid tenfold because I learned what I didn't know. And that's how I got here. There's really no shortcuts to making money. There's no shortcuts to, nobody starts off, let's say, you know, in making, let's just go really low, $10,000 a year, and they're making, you know, $1 million in a year. You got to do the work. You got to build a foundation, and it starts with you. And believe that you deserve more, and believe that there's endless opportunities out there, and you just need to hitch yourself to the opportunity that you desire to take. And be you, be authentic. I can tell you, I used to hide a lot. My closest friends did not know any of my learning disabilities. And I spoke on stage, and that's why I was there. So it was all going to come out in graphic detail. And people found me, and they sent me messages that they resonated with that message, and they applauded me for being authentic. So don't change to be somebody you're not. Change only to find your authentic self and love your authentic self and be the best that you can be.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Thank you.
I can't say another word. Although I kind of have to, because I have to tell everybody about subscribing, and hit the subscribe button and follow us on Spotify, and hit the like and the thumbs up and comment and do all those things. And after that, take a break, because that was pretty exhausting, guys.
We did cover a lot of material, a lot of mindset stuff. Yes,
we really did. I really appreciate you being on, Debbie. And everybody, thank you for tuning in, and you have a wonderful day.